Hi and welcome. Good morning, John Morris Show on a Monday. Coming to you from Kansas City. We're in the Hotel Kansas City. I'll tell you more about that. Historic hotel right downtown. So here's my window looking out. I can't see the T-Mobile Center from here, but yeah, I know exactly where it is. Kind of 2 blocks this way, 2 blocks that way, and we're that close to the T-Mobile Center, where the Big 12 tournament begins tomorrow for the men, wrapped up yesterday for the women. West Virginia, the Big 12 tournament champs, they knocked off TCU yesterday. And for Baylor, they will be the first game involved in the first game tomorrow on the men's side. The Baylor men, the number 13 seed, will play 12th seed Arizona State tomorrow morning, 11:30 a.m. from the T-Mobile Center. So we'll talk a lot about that today. We'll do our regular Monday check in at Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark, visit with assistant coach Jim Blair, and plenty more to come in the hour as we are in the throes of March Madness now, and it is fun. I've said this before, and I'll probably say it a lot this week, but Kansas City is just the perfect place for this Big 12 tournament. I had no part in the decision, but the powers that be moved it around a few in the early years of the Big 12. It was in Dallas. It was in Oklahoma City, and Oklahoma City did a really good job also. But it's landed here in Kansas City in the T-Mobile Center, and it is the absolute best place. Just like for the football championship, the AT&T Stadium in Arlington is the best spot. This is the best spot for the Big 12 basketball tournaments, the women's and the men's here in Kansas City. I mean, it is lead story on the newscast. It is front page news. It dominates sports talk here in the area. And it's just, I mean, there are pro teams here, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Kansas City Royals, and a FC, I don't know the name, but an FC team, professional teams. But still, this college tournament is basically why the T-Mobile Center was built. There's no other full-time resident of the T-Mobile Center, and this for a couple of weeks every year, the women's tournament and now the men's, is why this beautiful facility was built. And now add to that this year, the glass floor, the ASB glass floor. I'll get to see that in person for the first time this morning. Baylor has a shoot around about noon. They get 40 minutes, I think, maybe 50 minutes on the floor. Every team does today, every team that wants it. So I'll be over there and get to see the floor in action for the first time. So that's where we are, coming to you from Kansas City. Hopefully a lengthy stay here. We'll be here as long as the Bears are here. And Baylor, the 13th seed, moved up from the 14th seed with that win over Utah on Saturday to close the regular season. Listen, that's the way to do senior day. I mean, everything. I mean, Pat and I said it, and we said it with Coach Drew on the plane. That was a perfect senior day. It really was. All the seniors played and contributed. Baylor won in convincing fashion. Fans were really good. Coach Drew continues to say thanks to the fans. I would echo that. Fans, including the students, because it's spring break on the Baylor campus this week. And most students, you're gone, man. You're gone on Friday, maybe Thursday. You're gone for spring break. But a good number were there. And then the fans turned out as well. And it was just on a rainy day on Saturday. So it was a really good atmosphere. And capped that off with Coach Drew getting his 500th career victory with the win over the Utah Utes. How about that? Now, that's a lot wrapped up into one day. 101-75 was the final. Gets the Bears to 16-15 on the year and 6-12 in Big 12 play. And as I said, move up a spot in the seeds for this tournament up to number 13. Here's Coach Drew following the game on Saturday, acknowledging his 500th win, which he wouldn't do if we didn't press him on it, but then all the other aspects of the senior day victory on Saturday.
To start out by thanking all Baylor administration for giving us a chance to be here to get to 500 and giving us the resources to compete. Thank the players that have come here and played for the name on the front of the jersey and sacrificed so much, and then for the staff that have done such a great job throughout the years. As far as last but not least, I know my family, any coach's family sacrifices a lot with time, and they've allowed us to do what we need to do to be successful. So I want to thank them. And last but not least, I think the culture, joy, Jesus, others, yourself, is something special here, and it's a blessing to be a part of it. We really wanted to finish this game for all the fans that have come out this year, just to see how much we've improved. Thank them for them sticking with us and supporting us, because we know we had some rough games early on and bad basketball, and we've gotten a lot better. We set a record today, tied Big 12 for Baylor, lowest turnovers with 3, tying a record, I think, from 22 and 23 of only 3 turnovers. So a lot to be thankful for on senior night. We played really well. Thank God that it went like I prayed for. So that was great. And then last but not least, it's not my first rodeo, so I saw a lot of water bottles. So I went on the offensive. Unfortunately, I only had 2 in my hand, and after that, I was toast.
What he's talking about there was when they got to the locker room, and there's video of that on social media. And this is the Baylor celebration. In a locker room, you get doused with water bottles. So Coach Drew said he was ready. He had 2 of them, but then there's a whole team around him, and they're getting him. So it was a pretty cool scene, pretty cool celebration. And gosh, he deserves everything good that comes his way. So congratulations to Coach Drew on 500 wins. That includes, that would be 480 at Baylor. He won 20 of those 500 his 1 year as head coach at Valparaiso. Remember, he followed his dad as the head coach at Valpo, and it was just that 1 year, and then God brought him to Baylor, and the rest, as they say, is history. And history in the making. There's more. That's 500. That's a milestone, and hopefully 501 comes tomorrow. The senior day recognition was great. The players after the game were just fantastic in what they said. It is different. We said that going in. You know, this is not a senior group that's been here 3 or 4 or 5 years. These guys that were recognized on Saturday were here 1 year as Baylor Bears, but I think they're going to be Baylor Bears for life, and they sort of spoke to that, the impact Coach Drew has had on their lives, the staff, even in just the 1 year here at Baylor. There's those guys, and that is actually not this year's senior class. That would have been last year's. Sorry about that, Brandon. But that was, but this year's senior class included Caden Powell, Michael Ratai, Obi Agbum, and Dan Skillings Jr. And they all spoke to how much Baylor impacted them in their 1 year here. And let's not forget the managers and graduate assistants that were recognized: Ethan Wiley, Trent Brown, Nolan Mader, Josh Maywar, and Matthew Mears. Mears, honorary member of our radio crew. They were recognized on Saturday as well. And if you're around the program, you know how much time those guys give to the program, and how much the coaches depend on them. They are terrific and real key contributors to the success of this program. I say Mears, a honorary member of the radio crew, because there was one trip where I think we were flying separate from the team. Maybe it was Iowa State, and we were flying commercial, and Mears was with the team on the charter. And I said, hey, would you mind taking the radio equipment? Much easier to take it on a charter flight than for me to go through, TSA and everything with a bag full of electronics. And he said, sure, no problem. And so I said, all right, don't forget it. This is on you. And he said, okay, no problem. And they land in Waco, and he forgets the bag, and it's still on there, but Ty Beard picked him up. So I never let Mears forget that, but he is an honorary member of our crew, and one of the seniors that was recognized on Saturday. So that was really cool to be there, to be a part of. Thanks again to the fans who were there. They made it a really special day, and everything just came together. Baylor played so well. How about this? Utah shot 60% in the game, 50% from 3, and they got run out of the gym. They got totally dominated by Baylor. 101-75 was the score, and that doesn't tell really how dominant it was for the Bears. Baylor hit 15 of their first 16 shots to get off to a huge start in the game, 93%. And then Utah just didn't care about playing defense. Kind of the score indicates that. So that was the final, and big win for the Bears on Senior Day to close the regular season. All right, the regular season for the Big 12 ended on Saturday. Here's how things shake out with the seedings in the Big 12 tournament. Again, that begins tomorrow morning here down the street at the T-Mobile Center. First game of the day is 13th seed Baylor versus number 12 seed Arizona State. That'll be at 11:30 tomorrow morning. Second game, 2 p.m., Utah, the 16th seed, against number 9 seed Cincinnati. That's at 2 o'clock. And then the night session, 6 p.m., 15th seed Kansas State, coached by interim head coach Matthew Driscoll, taking on 10 seed BYU. BYU actually ended with a big win. They knocked off Texas Tech in their regular season finale, but they're the 10 seed. And then the nightcap, 8:30 tomorrow night, 14th seed Oklahoma State versus 11th seed Colorado. The winners tomorrow advance to the second round, where seeds 5, 6, 7, and 8 await. If Baylor wins, they would play 5 seed Iowa State on Wednesday morning at 11:30. Bears are in that morning group, morning bracket, if you will. So a win over Arizona State, they get Iowa State in what amounts to a home game here in Kansas City. Those Iowa State fans turn out in droves, and it's almost Hilton Coliseum South here in Kansas City. UCF is the 8th seed. They would get the Utah-Cincinnati winner. West Virginia is the 7th seed. They'd get the KC winner. And then TCU is the 6th seed. They would get the winner between Oklahoma State and Colorado. Then the top 4 seeds, Arizona 1, Houston 2, Kansas 3, and Texas Tech 4 swing into action on Thursday. So a double bye for the top 4 seeds. Baylor, if the Bears' path looks like this, Arizona State 1. If they win that, they would get Iowa State, the number 5 seed. If they win that, they would get Texas Tech, the number 4 seed. And win that, you're into the semifinals, probably against top seed and regular season champ Arizona. So there is a path. It is difficult, but Coach Drew says as long as the ball is bouncing, you've still got a chance. And what he means is you win 5 games here in 5 days, and you get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. And for these guys, that's the goal, and that's the only path to get to the NCAA tournament would be to win this tournament here this week. All right, tough task, a lot of games, a lot of great games, great facility, great atmosphere here in Kansas City. We'll talk more about that. Plenty more to come, including a check-in at Baylor Ballpark with assistant coach Jim Blair. Hey, we're glad you're with us on this Monday morning. John Morris Show brought to you by the Brazos Landing and by Alliance Bank. Alliance Bank Central Texas is your Central Texas business bank, voted by Forbes 2025 Best in State Banks. Alliance Bank Central Texas values their relationships with their customers and their communities. 7 convenient locations, count them, 7 locations to serve you better across Central Texas and on the web at alliancebanktexas.com. Take a break, back with more from Kansas City. Oh, I'll tell you about this great hotel where we're staying, Hotel Kansas City, when we come back. Plenty more. Stay with us. John Morris Show live from Kansas City returns after this.
Hey, it's Zach Gelb. We're talking NFL and college football. Plus, we have some of the biggest interviews in sports media. You got to check out the Zach Gelb Show right here on 365 Sports, weekdays, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 to 3 p.m. Central. And make sure you subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/@ZachGelbShow.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Are you looking for top-shelf sports talk about the West Virginia Mountaineers, where you can get objective analysis, but with the passion of a fan? Well, look no further than right here at Couz's Corner. I am Justin Couz Walker, the host of Couz's Corner, and you can find my show on demand over at YouTube. Most shows are uploaded by 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also check out my live post-game reaction shows. My special guest interviews, you can find it all on YouTube at Couz's Corner. Go check it out.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Welcome back live from Kansas City here for the Big 12 basketball tournament this week. Begins tomorrow. Baylor's first game, 11:30 tomorrow morning. We are brought to you in part by the Brazos Landing. Now, they're closed today. Remember that, closed on Mondays. Open Tuesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. They've got the French Quarter with its beautiful river views. They've got options there in the restaurant. The porch is coming very soon. Watch for that. Watch for details on that. And every day that they are open, those $12 lunch menu items and some great options there, red beans and rice. They've got a maple glazed bacon BLT. Great menu at the Brazos Landing. Check it out. You know where they are. It's where Brazos Landing, or is where the Brazos and I-35 meet. They're right across the river from Foster Pavilion, right across the interstate from McLean Stadium, and great folks there at the Brazos Landing, Becky and Claude, Lindsay, and everyone else. So check it out. Closed today. Gear up. Ready to go tomorrow to the Brazos Landing in Waco. We're also brought to you by Kish's Complete Car Care Center, family owned and operated. Kish's in Waco has been serving Waco drivers since 1998. Voted #1 auto shop year after year, located at 5300 Franklin Avenue. They're open right now, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And call for your next repair at Kish's Complete Car Care Center. All right, we're in Kansas City, and for the most part, the last few years, we've moved around several different hotels here. But for the most part, lately, we've stayed at the downtown Marriott. I say Marriott. It's not Marriott. And it's a great location, and love staying there because it's within walking distance of the arena. When the women's tournament was at Old Municipal Auditorium, it was right there also. So you walk to both Municipal and to the T-Mobile Center, and the Marriott, big old hotel right downtown. And so I thought there can't be anything better than the Marriott downtown because of its location. But I think this one's better. We're at the Hotel Kansas City, and it's actually closer to the T-Mobile Center by block and a half, 2 blocks maybe. So it's not a big difference, but it's closer. And just a really cool historic hotel. It goes back to either the sign out front, kind of on the wall, says established 1920. Inside, there's a picture that says 1922. So right about there, the early 20s is when this opened. So over 100 years old, and but with all the modern amenities inside, just really cool. The marble staircase. Our meeting room is on the 3rd floor, big old room there. And just, I like these old hotels that they have revitalized and refurbished and made modern, but still you get the feel of the history and the elegance, of something that goes back to the 1920s. So really, really nice location here, downtown Kansas City at Hotel Kansas City. And great job by Ty Beard to pick this place and get us here and get us all taken care of here in Kansas City. All right, other events from the weekend. Let's go back to Friday. Baylor women's basketball bowed out of the the Big 12 tournament on Friday night. The loss by the women to Colorado. Disappointing in that it was their first game. They were the number 3 seed, so lost their tournament opener and back home Saturday. But they have more games to play and bigger games to play in the NCAA tournament coming up. It's a little bit strange in that now they sit for a week. I mean, I'm sure they practice, but they sit for a week waiting until this Sunday, for the selection show for the women. I always wondered why they don't have the women's selection show, yesterday, and then where you're going. Then even if you practice for a week before you play, who your opponent is, time to prepare. But they know better why they do it this way than I do. The men's selection show comes up this Sunday, women's selection show Sunday as well. So they sit and cool their heels for a week, and then they charge forward into the NCAA tournament. Good luck to Nikki Collin and Baylor women. They're number 32 this morning in the net rankings, so no chance that they are going to host first and second round games. They know they're going on the road somewhere. So maybe a break's good for them to get a little break here. It's been a long season. Get a break of a week plus between games, and then they charge forward again to the tournament. So good luck to Nikki Collin and the Baylor women as they prepare for the NCAA tournament. Softball over the weekend, a series with Iowa State, interrupted by all the rain, the heavy rain on Saturday, but they played Friday and won the game over Iowa State. Saturday, they started game 2. They pushed it from, I think, at 2 o'clock, started at 5, and then the rains and more importantly, lightning came, and they had to postpone it, suspended the game until Sunday. So they finished that game on Sunday and then played third game of the series, and Baylor swept the series against Iowa State. Terrific start to Big 12 play for Glenn Moore and Baylor softball. Coach Moore will be with us in the 9 a.m. hour tomorrow. But to sweep their conference opening series, first 3 years they've been able to do that. Great start, now 3-0 in Big 12 play. They go to Florida this week. They'll play at Stetson on Wednesday. They'll play a 3-game series at UCF coming up this upcoming weekend. And Baylor baseball played Air Force this weekend, and just a terrific weekend all the way around, even with the rain that interrupted their game as well on Saturday. Played Friday night, got a 7-0 shutout victory. So off to a good start. Saturday, they pushed it. They pushed it again. They started at 5:35 on Saturday, played an inning and a third, and then here comes the rain and lightning, and they made the decision pretty quick. There was a window there. That's why they got the field ready and started the game, but then the window closed quicker than anybody thought, and the lightning, I think, was a big factor. You don't mess with lightning. You don't play through that. So they suspended that game after an inning and a third, picked it up on Sunday at noon. They were able to do that because Air Force was not leaving town last night. There was no curfew on Sunday, so that worked out well. So they played basically, 16 innings of baseball yesterday, and Baylor swept the series against Air Force. So big weekend for baseball Bears. Their final weekend before Big 12 play begins this weekend. West Virginia coming to Waco. Part of a 7 or 8 game homestand continues for the Bears. They'll play Sam Houston State tomorrow night at home, and then the West Virginia Mountaineers come to Waco this weekend. So great weekend all the way around. Acrobatics and tumbling won 2 matches on the road, a tri-meet that they were a part of. So A&T just continues to roll on. We don't take that for granted, but 2 wins for them over the weekend. Also, women's tennis off to a 3-1 start in Big 12 play. They beat West Virginia yesterday 5-2. So you're caught up on everything Baylor athletics. It was fun to see Marshall Kennedy after the game on Saturday from the upper deck. She hollered at me and said, "I like the new show." And I said, "Oh, it's so good to hear from you." Marshall has been one of our most devoted viewers and listeners through the years, and I really respect her opinion. And I said, "Do you watch or do you listen?" And she says, "A little bit of both. If I have time, I watch." So Marshall, thank you very much for that. I like that stamp of endorsement. If you are watching or listening, we'd love for you to subscribe and like, and that helps us out in a lot of ways. So we appreciate every one of you very, very much, and especially Marshall. All right, a little bit later, we'll do this in the last segment, but there was a, how do I describe this? There was an oops moment after the game Saturday in Foster, and I was right in the middle of it, and there's video proof of it. And I'll explain and show you that a little bit later. But right now, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll check in at Baylor Ballpark and visit with Jim Blair, Baylor Baseball Assistant coach, coming off the weekend in which the Bears swept the Air Force Falcons. Coach Blair joins us next. You'll enjoy hearing from him. Stay with us. John Morris Show on a Monday, coming to you live from Kansas City, continues after this.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
If you want a Boston sports show that's going to insult you as a fan and only cares about getting back at their old hosts or who Bill Belichick is dating, then keep tuning your radio. But if you want a sports show that's wicked good, wicked smart, wicked passionate, then you need the Wicked Boston Show with me, Cam Stewart. It is the only Boston sports talk show that is by the fans and for the fans. One voice in this city where the only BS is Boston sports. The Wicked Boston Show.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
Spring has sprung, and now's a great time to schedule a checkup for your vehicle. As Texas weather changes, it's important to make sure you and your loved ones are safe on the road. Request an appointment online at CompleteCarCareCenter.com today. We're equipped to handle all major and minor repairs on your vehicle. Our experienced technicians can check the health of your tires and inspect your vehicle for any unseen issues. Kish Complete Car Care Center at 5300 Franklin, where we take pride in keeping individuals safe, honestly.
At DeCampley's Italian Ristorante, we are committed to providing an authentic Italian experience. Through exceptional service, delicious food, and a family environment, we want our guests to create memories that they will want to share with their family and friends. Open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Make your reservation today. Check us out on Facebook and at DeCampley's.com.
Hi, my name is Mike Lacey. I'm with Beyond the Game, a new podcast to the Rogue Media Network. Just when you thought you'd had a little bit too much about BYU, here we are to provide you even a little bit more. I, as part of the BYU group, am grateful that we're part of the Big 12 and really grateful that we're part of the Rogue Media Network. Thank you.
Back with us, John Morris Show, live from Kansas City today, and we are brought to you in part by Waco Foundation Repair. David Maddox was with us in studio one day last week. Locally owned and operated, Waco Foundation Repair believes in one principle, one family helping another. They provide a full range of foundation repairs. They don't just do the job, they do it right on the web, wacofoundationrepair.com. David said free estimates if you have any concerns about your foundation. Give them a call. They'll come out and they'll ease your mind. So remember, wacofoundationrepair.com. Tell you what, the foundation of Baylor Baseball is really strong, coming off a 3-game series sweep over Air Force over the weekend. Let's talk about that as we welcome in our good friend, Coach Jim Blair, Baylor Baseball Assistant Coach. Welcome to you. We tracked you down. Thanks for being on with us.
Morning, JMO. Sorry,
Sorry,
missed you last week, but I'm glad to be here today. So,
you were doing more important things, I know, but thanks for being with us today. Nice weekend, and that's 8-0 at home this season for you guys. That's great.
Yeah, no, it was a good week for us. Not a great week. Obviously, dropped the game on Tuesday, but I thought our guys had a great response and played pretty solid baseball for all 3 games and handled the situation for what it was with the weather and what have you. And we've been perfect at home, and both the Friday nights we've played at home, our crowds have been outstanding. That's been really good to see, and still had a good following this weekend considering the weather situation for what it was. But no, we've been pleased with our performance at home up until this point.
Can we go back to Tuesday briefly, the game at Tarleton?
Yep.
What happened there? I mean, Tarleton obviously was primed to play you guys, to get you in Stephenville in their ballpark, which is a really nice ballpark. What are your thoughts coming out of that Tarleton game?
Yeah, they're a good program, and college baseball is what it is. If you play well, you can beat anybody in the country. If you don't play well, you can lose to anybody. And they've got a quality program, and from the time we entered the ballpark, we knew the atmosphere was going to be electric. I mean, the place was full. They've got their game atmosphere stuff figured out. There's a lot of energy pitch to pitch, and they played well. We had opportunities to extend the lead at times and just didn't get it done. And they could kind of sniff out their opportunity to push forward. And when we were tied at the end, they came through. And I think it was what we communicated to the team is we need that loss to be valuable to us in some way, especially with a young team and a lot of young position players. It was a great learning experience. You've got to play good baseball. You've got to play intense baseball for 9 innings. There's no clock that's going to run out. It's not over until all the outs are recorded. But, as we look back on that game and games similar to that, hopefully it's more valuable to us in the end, than winning that game and maybe feeling too good about ourselves, so to speak. Gives you some things, gives you some perspective, maybe exposes you in some ways like, hey, these are areas we really need to get better at, because when we get into Big 12 play, the margins are going to get tighter themselves. So,
yeah, that's good. And I guess that was correct me if I'm wrong, that was your first true road game, right?
Yeah, everything else had been neutral site.
Yeah,
Down in Round Rock and in Houston. That was our first away game. Yep.
Yeah. So there's the learning aspect to that as well. Come home, Air Force over the weekend. I thought y'all did a terrific job of saluting our servicemen, and we all have so much respect for what they do in addition to being student athletes. Tom Barfield had a great interview with their head coach pregame on Sunday. That was impactful. I mean, to bring Air Force Academy into Waco was really, really cool.
No doubt. With the years that I spent in San Antonio, with that being kind of military city, we always were finding games with Army in the service academies, and those are some of my favorite experiences, because you just watch the way they go about their business, how they handle themselves. Those are the guys that are on the front line for us outside of the realm of athletics, and to be able to compete against those guys and watch them and is a really, really cool experience for sure.
Yeah, very much so. And you guys played well, and it was nice to have Lucas Davenport back to get the start on Friday, wasn't it?
Yep. Short stint, but his stuff was good, and I believe he responded well to everything, and it was good to get him back out there. His stuff looked very promising for us. But everybody from the staff perspective, for the exception of Calder, stayed pretty short. Which meant we were going to have to use a lot of guys. You don't ever know how that's going to go, but credit to the pitching staff. I mean, everybody that went out there, basically did their job and did it well. We had a little hiccup in the ninth inning, game 2 or game 1 of Sunday. But just some bad luck stuff. We had an error. They dropped a hit in there, and then going back, talking about that situation on Tuesday, when your opponent can kind of sniff out, hey, there's an opportunity to win, everything gets a little bit more intense. But really over the course of the 3-game series, that was the only part of any of those 3 games where, those guys were maybe on their heels a little bit. I thought for the rest of the weekend, we had multiple guys that were attacking the strike zone with their stuff and did an outstanding job.
Yeah. How about Travis Sanders, top of the order? Have y'all settled in on him as your leadoff guy? I think he's got a 20-game on-base streak going now.
That's a question for Mitch. But he's been pretty good up there. He's been pretty good up there. He is playing at such a high level right now. His game is it's really hard to replace a guy like Tyreek. Tyreek had grown so much and obviously had a physical tool set that could play that position and play it at a high level. But to have to replace him, and Travis obviously was on the field for us last year at second base, but not only offensively, but he's playing just as well defensively. I mean, he's doing some pretty special things. He can slow the game down when he needs to, has the ability to make the unbelievable plays when he needs to. And he's kind of steady Eddie. He's not an overly emotional player. You can kind of see that in his body language. He's just out there and he plays the game pitch to pitch for what it is, and is very under control of himself, and really, really like what he is doing right now. It's really impressive to watch.
Like that. You mentioned Tyreek, and who would you say in the program could do the best imitation of Tyreek Kemp at the plate? Who would that be?
Oh, I've got all of our guys down. That was something I brought out just because Tyreek was in the stadium that day. But yeah, no, yes. I'd you watch those guys every day. They don't pay attention to their little things that they do, but we do sometimes. So just trying to keep it light out there. So
yeah, it was spot on. It really was spot on.
After I got done, Tyreek said, "I don't run like that." I said, "Oh no, you run exactly like
you
that."
do." That's great. How about Brady Janusek for you guys? Gosh, he's been impressive so far.
If you're a Baylor baseball fan and you have not seen us play in person, man, I would make a point to come out. And just to see that guy. I mean, physically, he's different. I mean, he's probably, we'll see where things go, but I would assume he will probably transition to the center field position in his career. Can really run, physical, bat speed. He's still learning the game. I mean, he was a 3-sport athlete in high school, basketball, football, baseball, did all that stuff. And you can see why. I mean, just the physicality of the kid is unbelievable, but he's going to keep getting better. But when you think about guys that play at the big league level in center field, it's not just guys that can cover ground. They've got to be offensive now and be able to leave the ballpark and do those type of things. He kind of checks off all those boxes. I don't know that I've had, Bo Caraway is probably the best runner I've ever had on a team. And Janny's certainly close to that.
Wow.
And, he's a different type of runner, but man, if he's at first base and somebody hits the ball in the gap and you watch him go, it makes my job in the third base box a lot easier on tough decisions.
Yeah, fun to watch for sure.
Yep.
All right,
yep.
Sam Houston coming in tomorrow night, and then Big 12 play begins this weekend at home. You get West Virginia, team that appears to be playing pretty well there. Yep. So here we go. Big 12 play is upon us.
Oh no, it's coming. We're trying to treat each day the same. Whether it's practice or midweek game or whatever. But obviously, we all know when you get into Big 12 play, things get heightened a little bit, and it'll be interesting for us because we didn't get to see West Virginia last year. And in today's day, the portal and roster shifting so much, there's probably going to be some new guys in there that we haven't laid eyes on. But, hopefully Baylor Ballpark will be packed and, we'll have a great atmosphere. We're looking forward to it for sure.
Should be great. Hope the weather cooperates this weekend.
We've been blessed
your
so
time.
far. Yeah, no problem, J-Mo. I was glad to be here.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. From your studio, you got a nice studio there. I like that.
You like this? I appreciate
Yes, very nice. Yeah. Thanks for your time.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks. Jim Blair, Baylor Baseball Assistant Coach, former Baylor player. If the trivia question comes up, who holds Baylor's all-time hit streak? It is that guy right there, Jim Blair. Jimmy Blair holds the hit streak, split over 2 seasons. And gosh, what a great guy he is to be a part of of Mitch Thompson's staff. Appreciate him greatly. Let's take a break. We'll be back. We'll look ahead. We'll share some birthdays with you. Wrap things up from here in Kansas City. Plus, as I said, there was a oh no moment from Saturday after the game off the floor. So we'll share that with you as well. Glad you're with us. Thanks to Brandon McGinnis and Garrett Ross behind the scenes. We are here in Kansas City, and we'll be right back. John Morris Show presented by Alliance Bank Central Texas and by the Brazos Landing, and we'll be right back after this.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
The Pete Souza Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. You want to talk NFL draft? I don't know. How about we get you Todd McShay? You want to talk Big 12? We can get you the commissioner. Somebody about the Cowboys? How about we have on the owner, Stephen Jones? Pop culture? Michelle Beadle. I mean, we will bring on the people that you want to hear from. And these people don't join us because of me. They join us because of you. You got to watch this show, okay? It's got everything you need. Sports, hijinks, laughs. Did I mention hijinks? We'll see you on the Pete Souza Show. Now, we are under the 365 Sports umbrella. Check it out. I'm wearing a Tulane shirt. No idea why.
It's the Pete Souza Show. Sports.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco. One of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course.
Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Come buy, sell, and trade at the longest-running card show in Central Texas, the Texas Sports Hall of Fame Collector Show, March 20th and 21st at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. Come meet former Pittsburgh Steeler Greg Hawthorne and former San Antonio Spur Alvin Robertson on Friday. Saturday, former Dallas Cowboy Mel Renfro, Beasley Reese, and Baylor great Lake Seastrunk are scheduled to appear. Show hours are Friday 11 to 5, Saturday 9 till 4. Get your autographs authenticated by JSA both days. Dealers from Texas and Oklahoma will be exhibiting. For more information, visit theautographsinc.com.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Looking for football talk without the fluff? It's Down and Dirty with Scott Mitchell, a former NFL quarterback breaking down the game from the inside, plus real conversations about sports, leadership, life, and everything in between. No hot takes for clicks, just honest analysis, strong opinions, and stories you won't hear anywhere else. Football talk and more, the way it's supposed to be. Subscribe now to Down and Dirty with Scott Mitchell on YouTube.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Back with us from Kansas City, we're at Hotel Kansas City, downtown Kansas City. Mo, Baylor opening play in the Big 12 tournament tomorrow morning, as we said, 11:30 tip-off on the air at 11. Baylor and Arizona State. It's on the Baylor Sports Media Network, ESPN Plus for television tomorrow as the Big 12 men's tournament swings into action. A day after, tomorrow it'll be 2 days after the women's tournament concluded with West Virginia knocking off TCU in the championship game. We welcome you back, and reminder again about the longest running card show in Central Texas. It's at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame coming up March 20th and 21st, and it is terrific. It is big. There's everything there. So many vendors from across the state and the state of Oklahoma. Guest celebrities, you saw the spot, Greg Hawthorne, Alvin Robertson, Beasley Reese, Lake Seastrunk, Mel Renfro scheduled to be there. So pretty cool. Friday, March 20th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, March 21st, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, go to The Autographs Inc. TheAutographsinc.com. beassports.com is the website. All right. Do we do birthdays first or let's do birthdays first and then get you to some embarrassing video from Saturday. And let me go back to Saturday for some birthdays. It was Nick Joseph's birthday on Saturday. Nick was with us for 14 years in Baylor athletics, and then he was called back to the homeland. He is now back at Iowa State, his alma mater, where he began as a student worker in athletic communications, now running the department. And Nick is just a really good friend and continues to be so, even though he's at another school. We'll see Nick tomorrow for sure, Wednesday for sure, if not tomorrow, because he'll be here. He wouldn't miss these games in Kansas City. His birthday was Saturday. Lyndon Olson's birthday was Saturday. Also, Johnny Tucker's birthday. Chanel Bramschreiber, former Baylor volleyball standout. Brittany Carter's birthday was yesterday. Brittany is the better half of Baylor assistant basketball coach Tweety Carter. So happy birthday to Brittany Carter. Nicholas Jean-Baptiste, former Baylor defensive lineman. His birthday was yesterday. Matt Snyder, formerly with Baylor Baseball, yesterday birthday. Paula Harper, wife of Craig Harper. Paula's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday to her. Marius Roman, what's his title? Chief bottle washer, manager, everything that goes along with it at the Rosas there on Franklin Avenue. Marius, a good friend. Happy birthday to Marius. His birthday was yesterday. And Jeff Walter's birthday was yesterday. Also, Jeff is our spotter and statistician on our football broadcast and does a terrific job, very committed to it, very conscientious in everything that he does. So, Jeff, love you and happy birthday to you. I texted you yesterday, but happy birthday over the airwaves today. Today's birthday is Blake Matson's birthday. Robin Smith in Waco, Kevin Krause in Waco, Lincoln Rose, who does a ton of our ESPN Plus broadcasts. He was here for the softball broadcast over the weekend. Lincoln lives in Austin, but makes very frequent trips to Waco and does a terrific job with every sport that he covers and every assignment that he has with us. So happy birthday to Lincoln Rose. And Tracy Haffercamp's birthday is today. Also, Tracy is the better half of Michael Haffercamp with Dr. Pepper Bottling Company in Waco. Happy birthday, Tracy. All right, here's what happened Saturday. And here's the back first. The chairs on press row in Foster Pavilion are terrible. They're rolling chairs, which is good, but the base is too small. The base is basically the same size as the seat, and they need to be a little wider to just give more balance on a rolling chair. So last year, Foster Pavilion, these chairs were there. We knew immediately. People kept falling out of the chairs. They would lose their balance and fall back. And we thought, okay, we've learned. We'll correct that. Same through this season again with the same chairs at Foster Pavilion. Okay, so you get the look of this, a real small base on four wheels and not much balance available there. We've sort of learned to live with it. Everybody that comes in, I warn those guys, like Bill Riley, the voice of the Utah Utes on Saturday. I make a point to tell them, hey, be careful for these chairs. They fall over really easily, and be careful of your balance. And he said, oh, yeah, I remember that from last year. So I try to warn everyone about that. Well, should have warned myself a little bit more. We've gone 2+ years in Foster. I haven't fallen over until Saturday. And there's video proof of this. So here it is from our courtside cam. There we go. Lace Darius Dunn is walking by behind us. I lean back, to give him knucks, and I lose my balance, and I go flat on the ground there in Foster Pavilions. First time it's happened to me. And Pat, you can see Pat, he points at Lace and said, that was a charge. That was a charge. But it wasn't Lace at all. I just leaned back to give him a fist pump, and I went sprawling on the floor. So I bid it on Saturday, and everybody has a good time with that. To their credit, they say, "Are you okay?" And I say, "Yes, I'm fine." And then they just laugh, and it's a funny thing. And it is a funny thing, and it's good to be able to laugh at yourself. And that's what I'm doing, sharing that with you. And not only did it happen, but it happens on camera, on our courtside cam, which we have every game available there. And that was actually David Kay, who's 2 seats down from me, right by Pat. That was his first thought, was when it happened, he thought and said, "Oh, is that on camera?" And sure enough, it was. So I went sprawling. First time it happened. We have no more games in Foster this year. Let's see if those chairs get changed for next year. Will and JB thought that they could use this as ammunition to go to Henry Howard and say, "Okay, we need new chairs. What budget you want to put this to?" Not like it's a question. We're going to get new chairs. Who do we charge that to? So if that helps us get new chairs, I am very glad to have taken a tumble on Saturday. I will take that fall to get us some new chairs on Press Row. I might contribute to the fund to get new chairs on Press Row. So they'll take that video and see if that pushes us over the top to get new chairs there. All right, we are here in Kansas City. We'll continue. Baylor's got a practice over the noon hour today. Short practice, I think 40 minutes on the floor of the T-Mobile Center. So into the building, we'll get our first look in person of that at that ASB glass floor. And apparently they opened, they debuted it with the women's tournament. And remember, the first day or 2 days of the women's tournament, on the floor, it was the same configuration on the floor as last year, the Louis Vuitton look, the XII for 12. But then after that, it changed to a more wood plank look that they either had planned along or, because people said, "I don't want to see the Louis Vuitton," they made a change. So they changed it in the middle of the women's tournament. And apparently there are some things that are available that we didn't see last week in the women's tournament, may see for the men's. Like I hear when you hit a three-pointer, the three-point line lights up around there, which you can do with a glass LED floor. And then there's something in the paint area also. I don't know if it's a paint bucket or what it might be, but the paint area can light up. Just the paint area can light up also. So we'll see how things transpire this week. I'm really looking forward to seeing it in person. We had Chris Thornton with us last week from ASB Glass Floors. Go back and find that interview, and he explains the whole process really, really well. But looking forward to see that as Baylor opens play the Big 12 tournament here in Kansas City, where we'll come to you again live tomorrow morning. And then Baylor plays at 11:30 tomorrow morning also. Thanks for being with us today. Thanks to Brandon and Garrett behind the scenes. And thanks to Coach Jim Blair, Baylor Baseball, for being on with us. Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach, and more will be with us tomorrow as we continue live from Kansas City. Thank you for tuning in. John Morris Show presented by the Brazos Landing and Alliance Bank Central Texas, live from the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, and we'll see you tomorrow. Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie.
Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Sports don't stop, and neither do we. Welcome to 365 Sports, your home for real conversations, original shows, and coverage that lives where sports actually happen. Join David Smoke, Craig Smoke, and myself, Paul Catalina, for in-depth interviews and local stories to the moments national media misses. 365 Sports brings you the voices, debates, and perspectives fans care about every single day. Subscribe now on YouTube, search 365 Sports, and never miss a moment because sports aren't seasonal. They're 365.
At DeCampley's Italian Ristorante, we are committed to providing an authentic Italian experience. Through exceptional service, delicious food, and a family environment, we want our guests to create memories that they will want to share with their family and friends. Open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Make your reservation today. Check us out on Facebook and at decampleys.com.
My name is David Maddox, owner of Waco Foundation Repair. I've been in business right at 20 years, incorporated since 2003, and nonstop, very busy business to be in. We stay plenty busy with this good old Central Texas ground that constantly moves and does its thing. If you think you have foundation repair issues, call Waco Foundation Repair today.
Spring has sprung, and now's a great time to schedule a checkup for your vehicle. As Texas weather changes, it's important to make sure you and your loved ones are safe on the road. Request an appointment online at CompleteCarCareCenter.com today. We're equipped to handle all major and minor repairs on your vehicle. Our experienced technicians can check the health of your tires and inspect your vehicle for any unseen issues. Kish Complete Car Care Center at 5300 Franklin, where we take pride in keeping individuals safe, honestly.
Hey, it's Matt Mosley of The Matt Mosley Show. We want you to watch our show every day, 1 to 3 on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. And you get to see big name guests like Gary Patterson, Art Briles, Scott Drew, Doug McNamee, major Cowboys insiders, ESPN legends like Sal Palantonio. When news breaks on Cowboys or Baylor or NFL, we want you to look here first. 1 to 3 weekdays, it's the Matt Mosley Show.